Hello again, folks, and welcome to not really a new Let's Play, but rather a continuation of a stream. Yes, I have decided that instead of streaming this and, feeling the entire pressure and anxiety that comes with streaming, I am going to just record it. These will be in bi-daily, I guess, recordings, where each video will be roughly an hour long. For those that don't feel like going and catching up on the stream, I can't blame you, but I am playing as a character that I have had for a long time by the name of Arrent the Cold-Hearted. I had to go with Arrent the Cold Heart because character limitations. He is a lawful evil cleric. I believe I made him to I forget how the hell to say his name. Point is he is lawful evil. Zonkuthon. Wow. Why was I thinking Barpathon? I don't know. Anyways, probably not all that great of a character at the moment, but we only just recently hit level 3, which means that he gets a bevy of abilities, not to mention one such feat that will allow him to simply cast his one ability, where the hell is it? Channel negative energy without affecting his allies. So he will be far more effective in a larger range, theoretically. As soon as I get the bastard's wisdom score up anyways. Now, still don't quite know what I'm going to do with him. I think I was planning on making him into one of the Hell Knights. I don't know if I was going to make him a Hell Knight or a Hell Knight Inquisitor, which basically the difference would be a change between him being a martial class or a spellcasting class, more or less. I think I was going to go spellcasty though, based on stuff and things. It's been a hot while since I've last touched this, so you'll have to excuse me for that. And yes, this is a custom portrait that I had made through Hero Forge. He's really cool. I like Arrent. He's one of my favorite characters that I've made, and I sadly don't give him enough attention in pretty much anything. Anyways, but besides all this, you can see he's right then lawful evil, slowly steering towards neutral, but that is because he is evil, but it's more pragmatic evil. He is technically good at heart. Technically. But besides that, we have Windwag, who is hell of an awesome character, if you ask me. I feel like she's also got that whole pragmatic evil thing going on for her. So, right up Arrent's alley. I'm not much for romancing or whatnot in these kind of games, but if Arrent were to, romance anyone in this game, it would more than likely be Windwag. We got Camellia, who is a spirit hunter, which I still don't know how the hell to play. But I believe, based on this, she was of noble birth. And whereas Windwag is more of the sneaky, stealthy, stabby sort of a, roguish fighter sort of individual. Camellia is her magic? Yeah, she's got some magic shit. And does trickery and persuasion stuff. Well, so I guess that's her thing. Windwag murders from afar. Camellia stabs people and opens chests. Pretty much all I got so far. I think of all the characters so far, I've not really found many that I personally really do like besides Windwag. I don't know. And then we got Sela. I'm going to say Sela, who is a paladin of Serene. No, Iomade. Do I remember that right? I don't remember shit right. Serene Ray? I'm assuming Serene Ray. No, it would be Iomade, because Iomade was... Yeah, Iomade. The Inheritor. Light of the Sword and Lady of Valor, blah blah blah. So she is lawful good, very charismatic, rather strong. She is more or less our tank right now, simply because by virtue of having a badass shield and banded mail. I will probably not be keeping her in the party for too long. Which kind of sucks because she's got a really nice sword. But she's not going to, you know, she's not going to clash very well with Arrent, who, by God, I hate that hat. I can't wait to replace that hat. As for what we have done so far, the beginning of the story was that the town that we are in has been attacked by demons from the world wound, and we were thrown pretty much underground and had to escape through the mongrels' help. Mongrel being individuals that had been descended from those who had been present when the world wound was being fought against. And now some of them are very pious and righteous and, oh yes, we're gonna do this thing. And then we have others that are like, let's just live. let's just live through another day, please. Windowag is, I believe, more of the latter. She wants to have her people live, thrive, survive even. But with her help, we had slain a demon. There was one situation where there was a wound that Arrent got that's too grievous to heal, and it is causing constant like flashes in his mind of past battles, I believe. If I got that right. It's been a hot bit. You'll have to excuse me. Oh yeah. Can I swap out your alignment spell? Or is it always going to be protection from chaos? It's been... Alright, on top of it being a while since I've last played this game, it's also been a long while since I've last played Pathfinder. Especially first edition Pathfinder. Right, you have the law domain, which allows you to touch a creature and have them for 1 round roll as if the natural d20 roll resulted in an 11, so you could theoretically make it so as someone's guaranteed to hit, as opposed to rolling below 11. Protection from chaos, which is good against demons. Immunal protection from chaos, again against good against demons. Prayer, all creatures within 40 foot burst. Wait, is that all? Oh yeah, it is all, but the enemies suffer -1 penalty. Yeah. Mostly went with law because I believe that Song Kuthon's other stuff was just... It didn't really align well with him. Ooh, Bone Shaker. I forgot about that. Like, again, he's evil, but it's more out of a necessity of his background. I'll go into that later, I believe, but for the now, yeah, I think we will start the game up proper. Camellia, hi. Camellia looks at you pensively, toying with a snake-shaped bone amulet that dangles from her pale neck. Noticing your glance, she flashes you a cold, barely there smile. Greetings. It seems for a moment that she wants to say something else, but the pause grows too long, and she slips back into a cautious silence. I don't think she really wields it too well, but where did you learn to wield a rapier so well? I had good teachers, although they don't get all the credit. I am a most diligent student. Amelia licks her parched lips. Okay. Where'd you get that amulet? My little trinket. So nice for you to notice, but I assure you this amulet is nothing but a bauble, and a lady not be drawn to beautiful, useless things. Okay, if that picture is any indication, it's a snakehead amulet. So, I don't know. You're much more relaxed during battle. Your battle cries are uninhibited. She blushes slightly and lowers her eyes. But you've noticed, To be honest, I find it embarrassing. You see, being a shaman means having spirits of battle as an ever-present companions. In the heat of battle, they become rather vocal. Ah, okay, so that's what a spirit shaman does. He's basically from Shaman King. Your speech tells me you're of noble birth. Amelia laughs, her practiced musical laugh, as she watches you from under lowered lashes. You're most insightful, quite a fine quality to have. Her laugh ends, and unspoken words hang in the silence. Considering Arrent. Still, I believe that being of noble birth does not give anyone the right to look down on others. That's so. Well, thank you for sharing your opinion with me. Tempting. I have to go. Talk to you later. I won't keep you. The dawning smile of Amelia's face freezes and quickly dies away. Oh yeah, she's such a wonderful companion. Something might be wrong with that cat. Hello, guy. Dwarf resembles an abandoned citadel, one whose high crumbling walls are still holding fast, but whose empty, lightless windows make it clear that all inside is dead. Oh, it's you. Welcome. Good work back there in the great garrison. Named Staunton Vane, if you have heard rumors about me. His face, which looks like it has never known anything as carefree as a smile, grimaces. Just so you know, everything people say about me, it's true. What do people say about you? They say I'm a traitor, as bad as Arrelu Voresh, that I'm a disgrace, even among the ranks of the condemned, that Queen Galfrey should never have spared me, that I belong on the gallows. Oh, right. One of the big important things last time I was streaming this was that one of the demonic evasions involved the Great Garrison, where there was a demon lady, I forget her name, that this guy was connected to. For reasons. Let's see. A few names arouse as much rage among Crusaders as that of Arrelu Vorlash. Sarkorian witch who initiated the opening of the World Wound and later its expansion. Almost nothing is known about her life before the atrocity, except that Vorlash was condemned for using arcane magic, which was persecuted in Sarkoris, to kill me, and imprisoned in the Tower of the Threshold near the city of Iz. This is where Arrelu Vorlash conducted the ritual that paved the way for the demonic invasion and left her land to be tormented by the demon lord Deskari. That was the name of the demon lord. Oh yeah, the demon lord had cut the freaking neck of a dragon. Pretty hardcore. I really do suggest going back and watching those streams, as irritating as it can be to watch me bumble about. By some mysterious means, the witch transformed herself, changing from an ordinary human into a half-demon. Oh, this was that Arrelu, I think. Over the following century, Crusaders encountered Arrelu Vorlash, or the results of her experiments, a few times, but they learned nothing more of Deskari's henchwoman. She holds a high position in the ranks of the army of the Abius and bears the title of Architect of the World Wound. Condemned is the military unit made of petty criminals. Oh, okay, got it. Most unfortunate. And Queen Galfrey, absolute monarch of the state of Mendev. Got it. So why do they hate you so much? Really don't know? Staunton gives you a long, morose look and sighs. I'm the reason why the Crusade forces are holed up in the fortresses on the edge of the World Wound, instead of bringing the fight to the demons. We used to have a foothold in the wound, the mighty, unassailable city of Dresden. We used to have it until it fell. And all because of my stupidity. I gave the enemy our main citadel. I was tired. They wanted to execute. I was tried. They wanted to execute me, and rightly so. But the Queen intervened. She said that I should live and fight in the order to undo what I had done. So that's how I live, decade after decade, fighting in the condemned. The dwarf shrugs. As you can see, I've fixed nothing. I've earned no one's forgiveness. Are you going to spit on my face too? Wouldn't surprise me. Well, there's evil, not a dick. God, that's a chaotic evil response right there. Keep living and fighting with no hope of anything better because that's what the Queen ordered you? There is honor in that. You may be right, but you know, even stone and iron get worn down over time. I know what it means to live a regimented life, but I cannot rely on my principles alone forever. I pray to Torag. Oh yeah, the god of the Dwarven god of creation. Though he does not listen, that my body breaks before my conscience does. You perform an action that was lawful. A whole city fell because of you. How is that possible? What do you mean, how? The knight glares at you from beneath his furrowed brow. If you don't trust the word of the condemned, go ask somebody else. Like my little brother Joran. If you still don't believe me, what's it to me? If you're about to ask me to recount the story of my disgrace for the 1000th time, don't. Fair? You really don't have any friends? I couldn't have survived this long if I were completely alone. Joran, my little brother, he keeps me going. He's never abandoned me. Everyone else shies away from me like they might catch what I've got. Even fighters in the condemned console themselves by thinking, I got stripped of my rank, but at least I'm not Staunton. Commander Tirabade seems to be the only person in the whole army who remembers that I'm a soldier, not a drudge. He has no qualms about taking me into battle. He's had some mud flung at her in the past, or so I hear. That's why she tries to keep an open mind about people. No surprise that she's the only one to hold on to her sense of reason in this farce. Fair. So many years of the condemned, surely you paid your penance by now. That's not up to me to decide. My life is in the Queen's hands. Paul's silent for a moment, and then in a trembling voice he adds, the condemned isn't the worst part. All these years I have prayed for Torag for forgiveness. Countless times I've gone to his priests, countless times I've kneeled before his altar. If only the father of the dwarven kind would answer my prayers just once, not to restore what I've lost, but just to tell me that I'm still one of his children. But it seems he doesn't give a damn about me. What can I expect from mere mortals when my own god doesn't think I deserve redemption? That's tough, man. But about this elf who calls himself the Storyteller? Storyteller? Staunton strokes his beard in thought. Strange old fellow, that one. He used to sit with me for hours asking about all sorts of things. He never offered judgment or comfort, he just listened. At first I wanted him and his questions as far away from me as possible. But later I realized that talking to him did ease my burden a little. I hope he is alive and well. He's completely blind and feeble, so if he's alone in the city, well, you probably know what that means. I do know one place he might be. Look out for him in the Black Wing. It's a library. Here, I'll show it to you on your map. Yay! I don't know what use a library is to a blind elf, but he loves the place. Would sit there day and night. Go on then, and we'll see each other again. And I hope so. You seem like a interesting individual. Let's see, who else is here? I can rest. Born Autumn Haze? Is that your name, or... There's a box there I can loot. Tall, fragile-looking elf sits in front of you, eyes closed. He is pale as a ghost, his arm wrapped in a blood-stained bandage. Got other bandages on his body under his clothes, but even in such a miserable state, he seems to keep calm. Raising his eyes to meet yours, he says faintly, I'm Born Autumn Haze, at your service. Pale lips are reddened by blood, but you see no signs of pain or fear in his gray eyes. Unnerving. Do you need help? After giving you a cold, intense look, he shakes his head. Do not trouble yourself on my behalf. A local healer tended to me. Besides, I come from a resilient, hardy people. My body will endure both the wounds and the poison delivered through them. Who wounded you? A sinner and an accomplice to demons. A quarry am I hunting in this inhospitable place. The Arrent, when you say your full name and title like that, it's probably a little hard to trust you. I'm Arrent the Cold-Hearted. You can trust me, I might be able to help you. After a brief pause, Forlorn says it would be impolite to refuse such a direct and friendly offer. Who is your quarry here in Mendev? I was hunting a fugitive, Descarite by the name of Kalissa. It pains me to admit that there are heinous malefactors such as her among my noble kind. I managed to catch up to her in Kenabras and wounded her. Then demons appeared and the city was engulfed in flames. I was injured in the battle that ensued and couldn't free her soul from its service to her dark masters. He expresses no anger or hatred as he speaks, only compassionate sorrow. Be a dick. No. I'm sorry for your misfortune. I hope things will turn out differently next time. There is no need for pity. Our ancient kind is blessed with great longevity. We gain a deeper understanding of the world than other races, and we learn our lessons better than anyone. Like us, we're learning from our mistakes as well. I survived, which means I will be more prepared the next I meet. Yeah, I wish to aid you in your hunt. He covers his eyes wearily. I thank you, but this is my mission. I'm used to facing all manners of terror on my own. I do appreciate your willingness to help. If you happen to meet Kalissa, take caution. She has turned many innocent souls to the path of evil. Darkness has rewarded her with many gifts. Her appearance alone will tell you that it is warped. The agate skin, the malicious stare in her blood-red eyes, the bestial teeth. She's more monster than elf at this point. I don't... I'm not sure I can make that. Unless anyone else is in my party, but... Yep. Cool. Her skin is dark, her hair preternaturally white. I never seem to read that word. Her red eyes can see perfectly in the dark, which, to my dismay, I've come to know from experience. Her bright light causes her kind pain. I used an alchemical powder that explodes in a dazzling flash, and she cried out as if I had stabbed her. Clear that this woman is fateful, servant of darkness. The marks that Kalissa's masters have left on her appearance say as much. Curious. Totally not looking around for stuff to loot. I don't know what you're talking about. Hello. Wolf. Surrender thy soul, Delvin. Iomade, protect us. Haha, got you again. How many times is that today? Take your jokes and shove them, tiefling. Oh, easy there, Chief. Don't hit me. Okay, first off. Now. Nah, his dexterity is already shite, so that's pretty useless. We'll go ahead, don't take too long though. Silver powder. A bottle of oil. Hello. Ow, it's only a light hammer. Damn it. Mine's got an enchantment, so I'm good.
Hey, Chief. Hey, Dreamboat, come over here. I want to talk to you about something. Something really important.
Well, young tiefling sits cross-legged on the floor. He looks relatively calm for someone in shackles, but his tail whips back and forth in agitation. Noticing your attention, the tiefling sits up and beckons you over.
Quit bothering the decent people in here, Woljif, or I'll knock your teeth out!
What's it to you, Delvin Dum-Dum? You were told to guard me, and I'm not stopping you. But no one told me I had to shut my trap.
Who are you?
Woljif Jefto. I deal in useful things. I can get you whatever you want. Anything. But there's just one problem.
He rattles his chains and gives you a meaningful look. And what do you want from me?
I'll lay it out for you. Simple job, 30 minutes tops. We go someplace, talk to someone, and in return, whatever you want, I'll get it for you. Some extra rations? No problem. Armor, weapons, scrolls, you name it. It's as good as yours. If you need my help with something, whistle and I'll be there. I'm handy enough with knives too, and even my magic know-how isn't too shabby.
What a load of guff! If you were good at magic, you wouldn't be stuck in here now, would you?
Got a point there.
Don't you listen to him, Chief. He'd find fault with the Queen herself. I'll be useful to have in battle, and I'll sell whatever you want at a reasonable price. It's your lucky day. You won't meet another gem like me in Canabras.
But why are you in chains?
Does it really matter? Don't get hung up on the past, Chief. Don't look to the future. Live in the here and now.
He was caught thieving.
There you go. Thank you. Your shadow, what was that?
Get me out of here and I'll tell you. And don't worry, it's not contagious.
We'll talk later. Many a questionable soul to deal with. Like, freaking, I don't fully trust the Spirit Hunter, Camellia, but that's partially because she's got an undetectable alignment. Stella's a good soul lord. And despite being neutral evil, we've seen Windowag do some pretty cool shit. Pretty good shit at that. Relatively speaking. Spices. Mutated fish. Right. And flour. We can use that. Wait, what was the button again? Right, there it is. I was pressing the wrong button. Purifying solutions. Sweet. What else do we got? Oh, there's Sella. Oh, and there's Windowag. And more interested in talking to Windowag first. Windowag's tense stance reveals her constant vigilance. Her eyes are focused and resolute. Noticing you, she lets you speak first, bowing respectfully. Master, I'm at your service. Let's talk about you serving Hosilla. You know, that demon that tried to kill us. Uncertainty sparks in Windowag's eyes, and she curls her spider legs on her back closer to her body. Of course, Master, but now I only serve you. Has someone said something about me? What did you do for the demons? I brought my kin to their lair so they could join the demon army and accept the power given to them. I made my tribe stronger. Later, once we no longer needed the demons, my powerful kin would have fought for me. The huntress shoots you with a grim and bloodthirsty grin. Makes sense. Aren't you ashamed of betraying your kin? Windowag replies respectfully but defiantly. I know that Saul would have called me a traitor, but for one reason only. He grew old and cowardly. I accepted the same fate as my fellow tribesmen. I ate the flesh too, and for many gongs I thrashed with fever, growling like an animal, lunging at anyone and everyone, my body burning from the inside. But I handled it, because I am the strongest of them all. Not a single day have I regretted the power I gained. That's why I am not ashamed of sharing that power with my tribe. Why did you decide to switch allegiance? I was only serving the demons because they promised me power, and only for as long as they had something to offer me. Chuckles, revealing her sharp teeth. But Hosilla can't offer me anything now she's dead, and I was never going to risk my life for her. You are a true leader, one worth following, the huntress says in a fawning tone. See, I know that she's probably the backstabby sort in this situation, but at the same time, as long as Arrent, stays on the stronger side of things, probably not gonna get stabbed in the back or shot in the face. So how can I trust you? Her voice gains a fervent edge. Why would I betray you, Master? You are the strongest. It would be stupid to defect to your enemies and die along with them. No, I am not that dumb. That dumb. You know what I mean? It's good that our paths cross. Need a good servant. I'm in need of a strong master. You did promise me an army of mongrels. Nose for cat-like eyes, and I'll give you one, Master, but first we have to rebuff the attack on the city. Saul has spent his entire life preparing for the underground crusaders' return to the surface, where he is not going to take any risks. He will order the tribes to hide in the caves like rats, and he will decide whether they are strong enough to fight side by side with us. Maybe he will decide that it's better to sit this one out and wait for another chance to come along. But you have to fend off the demons, win a glorious victory, and show Saul that ours is not a lost cause. Then he will give us his warriors, and then it will be my job to turn them into real soldiers. I have a feeling that's going to be a lot of dead, but then a good handful of strong warriors at that point. Kindly stop groveling. She shakes her head. I'm not groveling. I'm showing respect for your power. This is exactly how the weak should behave in the presence of the strong. Do I want to know more about you? The underground warrior looks flattered, raising her chin proudly. Ask me anything, master. What do you think of life on the surface? Scoffs arrogantly. Life among the uplanders, you mean? Your customs are strange. The huntress casts a glance at you and corrects herself quickly. I mean, theirs, not yours. You are strong and clever, but I look at other uplanders and wonder. Have you seen how proud they are of their weakness? Look, my hands are so soft. I've never done anything with them in my entire life, because noble blood runs through my veins. What does it matter who someone's parents are? I'm the daughter of a former chief of the tribe, so what? Is this what they respect and fear for me? Saul became the chief because he was old, experienced, and smart. After him, I might become the chief because I'm strong and even smarter. These weaklings couldn't have lasted a day in our caves. Everything is strange here, but it's alright, master. We'll put things right, won't we? What about your life in the caves? Life was better than an uplander might think. You're surrounded by rocks on all sides. It's sturdy, dependable. When you hide in a crack, you know for sure you're safe. Not like here, all this empty space around you. You always have to be on guard in case an arrow flies from any direction and hits you. Life on the ground is calmer somehow. Sure, there's less food in the caves than here, but the amount of food the uplanders have is too much. Don't you see, master, how many fat uplanders there are? Why do they eat so much? Like cattle fattened up to make up for tastier meat. We only had one fat person in our tribe, and that was Saul, and he was only fat because he was old. But up here, everything just seems fairer in the caves. When there isn't enough food for the weak, they die. The lazy die, the sick, the head and the body die. Only the strong and the skilled survive, then blood becomes thicker, tougher. So what happened between you and Lan? He shrugs disdainfully. He is a good hunter, but not too clever. A bit of an idiot, really. He was the strongest in the tribe after me, and that's why I kept him close. His heart is soft, unlike his body. The huntress smiles shamelessly. But then I met you, and I didn't need Lan anymore. I only want to hunt with you. I can tell you're proud of your strength. Throws her shoulders back proudly. Of course, let everyone see who is standing before them. The weak must obey the strong if they don't want to be reminded of their place. Even when I was a snot-nosed little cave rat, I could bring nethers twice my age to heals. I feel nothing, and no one. I fear nothing, and no one pain least of all. I was showered with praise and compliments, the best hunters the other tribes wanted me, but what did that matter to me? The moment you start listening to flattery is the moment you get soft and you die. No, I always pushed myself further, challenging myself, taking myself to the very edge. Many times I almost died, but I always came back stronger. I learned all my strength on my own, and if anyone didn't respect that, I just grabbed my knife. Why I became the best hunter in the tribe. Damn. On the surface, your people are called mongrels, but I take it you don't like that term? He shrugs her shoulders. Let the uplanders call us whatever they want. It doesn't matter. I know what they are trying to do. By giving us that stupid nickname, they are asserting their status and superiority over us. But it's normal to try and dominate a stranger you've just met. That's expected. When my kin conquer the lands on the surface, people will call us by whatever name we choose. Why do you serve me? Gives you a bland smile, because you are winning and I want you to be the winner. I don't like sharing food and fire with weaklings. I prefer people like you. And also because being close to you is a good way to live. I love life. I'm young and strong. Makes sense to eat, drink, screw, and kill enemies. Damn, while you are young, not when you are 30,000 gongs old and shriveled up like Saul. As long as I'm your servant, I can have fun as I like and order around anyone I want. Who will dare defy me? No one. Her eyes drift half-closed in smug satisfaction. Kill for me and you will get everything you've been dreaming of. She shoots you a feral grin. It's good we understand each other, master. As we nethers say, we hunt in the same cave. Everything is clear to me now. That's it. He gazes at you with devotion. Thank you for talking with me, Master. 1 second, I just want to double check. Performed an active E. Yep, sure did. I take it that Windowag likes me just a smidgen more because of that. Is there a way to see that though? Again, not that I care about any sort of dating simulation sort of shit in these kind of games. I'm more for the adventure, but I don't know. It's always a little bit of a thing when I consider whether or not someone is going to leave because of my actions or not. Let's see. Use a friend indeed. Find Jana Aldori, Sella's friend. Oh, right. You go watch Fighter and Sella's friend. Jana Aldori went missing during the demon attack. Irabeth would appreciate any information about her. Nearly forgot about that quest. Neutral evil. Right, I forgot you had rogue proficiencies because you're an underground chemist. Right? Or did I... I keep on forgetting the things that I've done with characters. Yeah, that's right. I had her go into rogue so that she can get sneak attack because she's rather good at hiding, so she can use that. And because at some point I would like to replace Camellia. So, yes. I don't know. I haven't met all the characters that I could have yet, so one quick second while I try to remember quick save, quick load. Quick load, F8, quick save is F8. Okay. Boop. Let's have a chit chat with Sella. He smiles at you warmly. Hey there. During that march through the dungeon, we never got the chance to exchange a proper greeting. It's high time I shake your hand. Ooh boy. This is going to be interesting because, again, lawful good, lawful evil. Yay. I guess I'd like to know more about you. Of course. Ask anything. I'll answer honestly. Tell me about yourself. Where are you from? I'm a little bit from Geb, a little bit from Katapesh, but mostly from the Knights of Iomade. I was accepted and began my training at 14. I belong to their ranks more than I belong to any other place. Come to Mendev by a long road, haven't you? Very long one. A traveler is expected to have amusing stories. Unfortunately, I have only 3 tales of any interest. I'd like to save them for our next feast. Otherwise, I won't have anything to show for myself when it's time to start bragging. And that just won't do, especially since I'll win the night with my cautionary tale of a battle with chupacabras. Yeah, that is a little bit concerning. Isn't your life, your attitude towards life and warfare too carefree, especially for a paladin? Is that a hint of reproach? If you're only just asking, then no, I don't think so. You have to know when it's time for jokes and when it's time for mourning. Right moments for joy and for sermons. And sometimes a good traveling story can be all those. If it entertains and purifies the soul, that story about the chupacabra is one of the good ones. Fair enough. Picture a small town in Qadira. Padasha, Empire of Kalesh. Got it. And down in the dungeon, there's 2 murderers waiting to be executed. The gallows are already built for them. The rope's been bought, but sometimes life takes a surprising turn. Suddenly a paladin of Iomade appears in the doorway and offers the murderers a deal. To go with her to fight some monsters, they'll live. They survive, that is. There's a big difference between imminent death and probable death with a glimmer of hope, wouldn't you say? So here we are, traveling through the desert, me and my friend, a priestess of Serene Ray, along with the little rat folk fellow who asked for our help, and the 2 cutthroats. I get to the rat folk village and see their bodies lying around, all drained dry. We figured we'd have to fight vampires. That's how the little rat folk described the monsters who attacked their village. That's why we went and all brazen-like. The sun was high, the vampires couldn't attack until dusk. But we never got a chance to look around. Black shadows, quick as the wind, attacked us from all sides. Not vampires, but chupacabras. One of the lads we pulled from the gallows got killed right away. The second one ran for his life. That left me, the rat folk, and Kyra. That was the name of the priestess. We all steeled ourselves for a fight of our lives. And just when we thought the end had come, the chupacabra surrounding me like a pack of dogs around a bear. Our rat folk friend wounded and down, and the teeth of the quickest of those blasted monsters clenched on Kyra's shoulder. Right then, when all hope was lost, the other lad from the gallows suddenly comes running back. Kills the beast attacking Kyra. Oh, he kills the beast attacking Kyra. Sure, you know what a turning point in the fight looks like. Well, this was it. A moment before, we were lost, and a moment later, we had it back under control. Chupacabras dropped dead one by one. The little rat folk is reunited with his family, who are hiding in the basement. The priestess and I closed the eyes of that boy from the gallows who saved us. It was a shame he didn't survive the fight. May the gods keep his soul in its journey through the afterlife. Again, evil, but not necessarily a dick. That's a good story. He could have died in disgrace on the gallows, but instead he died a hero. I'd fancy the stunt earned him some points as his final judgment. Hard to remember our journey doesn't end in death. Had it not been for that mercy, Milos, that was his name, wouldn't be hanging from a noose, and me, Kyra. And all the rat folk would be dead in the village. Someone told me that a kind deed done by an unkind person is 100 times more precious. By the same token, an evil done by a noble soul is 100 times more horrifying. That's why I really wanted to stay. Chupacabras were just a good starting point. That is far more poignant looking at Arrent, because he is an Aesimer from originally was a cleric of good. What made you become a paladin of Iomade? His gaze sharpened momentarily, then she sighs. Astasir is questioning a good one. Could ask it of all your companions, but it's a long story. Start with, 12 years ago, was nothing like the person I am now. I roamed the streets of Solku and the other homeless orphans. I stole, I fought, I was hired sword for a bit. Not the proper origin for a paladin, is it? Back then, Solku was a city of orphans, widows, and widowers. Gnolls decimated the city regularly. My parents were among their victims. People there heard about new deaths before they'd finish mourning their previous losses. One day, a group of knights of Iomade brought a glimmer of hope to the city. But while others saw them as saviors and protectors, I was busy pricing up their noble horses and their gleaming mithril armor, wondering just how much one of their pretty swords would fetch. A thief lives one day at a time, that's what they say. I was the type that never thought past the next job. Anyhow, I was able to sneak into the knight's camp and steal one of their mithril helms. Pauses, her voice sad and measured. And I was right there when a gnoll attacked the helm's owner. Asame was her name, and dealt a blow to her unprotected head. A gnoll like all those others, she'd fearlessly driven from the gates of the Solku. That one blow was fatal. But who was really to blame for her death? The gnoll attacker or the young thief named Sela? Yeah, as lawful as this situation be, seemingly small mistake can have terrible consequences. She literally could not have known of the consequences of her actions. I couldn't. I knew full well I was committing a crime. I targeted someone who came to help my city in a time of trouble. There are times, Arrent the Cold-Hearted, when you can't hide behind "I didn't know." But you were asking what brought me to the ranks of Iomade's warriors. We all choose the paladin's path for our own reasons. Some are guided by nobility of spirit, some by a desire to fight injustice. I became who I am through penance and a debt unpaid. The day Asimi died protecting my city, I wanted to kill myself for the terrible guilt I felt. But then I realized I wouldn't make the world any better, and I decided that instead I'd try to take her place. I'd become who she had been and protect the innocents that she would no longer be able to protect. So what are the principles that the Paladins of Iomade follow. I'll tell you, I like to recite our code. It feels like I've said it 1,000 times, but it never gets old. There is strength in these words. After a pause, she begins, her voice slow and meditative. I will learn the weight of my sword. Without my heart to guide it, it is worthless. My strength is not my sword, but in my heart. If I lose my sword, I have lost a tool. If I betrayed my heart, I have died. I will have faith in the inheritor. I will channel her strength through my body. I will shine in her legion, and I will not tarnish her glory through base actions. I am the first into battle and the last to leave it. I will not be taken prisoner by my free will. I will not surrender those under my command. I will never abandon a companion, but I will honor sacrifice freely given. I will guard the honor of my fellows, both thought and deed, and I will have faith in them. When in doubt, I may force my enemies to surrender, but I am responsible for their lives. I will never refuse a challenge from an equal. I will give honor to worthy enemies and contempt to the rest. I will suffer death before dishonor. I will be temperate in my actions and moderate in my behavior. I will strive to emulate Iomade's perfection. Thank you. I learned everything I wanted to know. Hope it didn't bore you. Ask me something else if you'd like. Erebeth said your friend Jana Aldori is missing. Do you know where we should look for her? Erebeth is worried about her fighters. I understand that. I wanted to look for Jana myself, so I didn't distract you. But since you're in this too, I could use some help. Jana and I met in Comrades a few days ago and just hit it off. We were drinking together. We went to the unforgettable celebration together too, but we got separated in the crowd. So we should start looking for them in the main square. That's where I last saw her. He frowns. Jana's a good fighter, even if she is green. She couldn't have become an Aldori otherwise. Ooh. Right, Aldori. Good, she might actually be useful. I hope that means she's alright. For context, Aldori are known really well for their swordsmanship. If I remember correctly. Again, foggy Pathfinder lore. What do you think of what's going on in Comrades? It's complete chaos. It's like we are able to handle it, right? We're here to handle it, right? Smiles brightly, then gives you a worried look. Does the way I talk bother you? I know I can seem blasé. Many good people in our protector, Turindalev. That's right, Turindalev, the dragon. I think? Yeah, Turindalev. Died here in Comrades. A paladin of Iomade is expected to be properly respectful and solemn. But I prefer to face my troubles with a smile and a bit of common sense. Grief is a weapon they'll use against you. It can undermine a warrior's spirit. It's better we hold off on grief until we've driven the last demon and cultist from the city. We want to win. It can't be mourning into the season. Plus, joy heals the soul. Nah, he's far more morose. One shouldn't reject them, all the more if improper merriment would offend other mourners. Yeah. I mean, in whole, he's not bothered by... I'm not bothered by how you talk. What matters is how you fight. Now you're talking sense. Well, you can trust my sword. Is fighting demons all you want, or are you looking for something more? How about covering myself in glory and becoming the hero of 100 ballads? Or at least a dozen, if they're lively ones. Her eyes shine cheerfully. Anyways, to be more serious, the area around the World Wound is the best place for a paladin who wishes to defend the weak and serve good. Being part of the crusade is reward enough for me. But there's something that worries me. And then gonna hold that up there for a bit so people can pause and read if they so please. Good. I don't want to sound like I'm criticizing my brothers in arms, but the Eagle Watch and the other orders are focused on just one aim. The war against the World Wound. That's why they can sometimes overlook the smaller things. Ordinary misfortunes, you know? I always liked being a wandering knight because at any moment I could get up and go help a poor ratfolk family who had been kidnapped, or an old woman whose favorite dog has gone missing. So here's my answer. I don't have a big important goal, but I'm happy to help those who need it. A little bit here and there. See, me, I like this temperament. I personally like this kind of shit. Help those who need the help, god damn it. I think that's why I think that Sella would be far better as a chaotic good character, but she still follows an order, so whatever. Anyways, thank you for speaking with me. Until next time. See ya. What was that thing up there? There's a thing that popped up. Probably just easier to go to the journal. Oh, wait. Oh, okay. So I need to complete these in this chapter, or they're gone for good. Got it. You can watch Pathfinder Stella's friend. General missing. Arabeth is appreciated on the day of celebration. Stella parted with Jenna on the market square in Comrades. Alright, Arabeth. He rubs her red and tired eyes. Any success? How's the city? Right, this is going to be a good reminder for what happened last time, because there were ward stones and bad things happened and blah 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 blah. What is our main objective? You heard what the demon said. They're going to desecrate the ward stones and blow up the whole barrier around the world wound. That would be an even worse disaster than the world wound's expansion before the Second Crusade. Not only Comrades, but every city in the ward stone will be destroyed, including the capital. Can't allow that no matter what. We will retake it, even destroy it if we must. Iomede's gift must not become a weapon of the abyss. Holding this up there for people to read, but the abyss is pretty much where demons come from. These wardstones, what are they? They are our greatest treasure, the shield given to us by Iomedes herself and placed in Comrades and other Mendevian cities and fortresses by her herald. The chain of wardstones forms a protective barrier that stops the expansion of the world wound and keeps the demons from moving beyond its borders. I shudder to think what will happen if that barrier falls. Tell me about the Eagle Watch. It's a small order created to fight not only demons but also the enemy within. Maintain the purity of the paladin ranks, prevent heresy, and identify spies. It has failed miserably at that. The Templars of the Iron Labyrinth infiltrated it and formed their nest within its ranks. Right, cultists Baphomet. Got it. After the Queen entrusted me with leading the order, Anivia and I practically built it from scratch. Got rid of dead weight, people who weren't committed. We organized ways to transmit messages and orders safely. We introduced reliable ciphers. We found tacit allies. Oh, what is that word? Tacit. Yeah. From crusader orders to street beggars. This was my personal crusade to purge the city of the Templars who had infested it. I thought I was winning. I could feel it. We're so close to driving the cultists out of Comrades, but it's hard to admit, but those successes didn't account for much once the demons entered the city. On the contrary, if it wasn't for you, there wouldn't be a headquarters at the Defender's Heart. Cultists would have served up the city on the platter of the demons. The line on Eorbeth's forehead softened. Yes, that's true. It's a good thing we achieved something. Thank you. Allow me to ask a few personal questions. Frowning a little, Eorbeth nods, please. But I must warn you, there are some things I don't have the right to discuss. Good boy. Where are you from? I was born in Comrades. I grew up on a farm just outside it, but my way back home lay at the end of a long and winding road. It took me years of traveling through foreign lands before I came to where I've always belonged. How did I become a paladin? A bitter smile appears on the half-orc's face. I don't much like to remember it, believe it or not. The story of how I became a paladin is also the story of how I failed to become a knight. My parents were crusaders. May their souls stand together in Iomede's celestial army. When I was born, they retired from the war and started preparing me to continue their legacy. My father was an orc. He'd be pressed to find a calmer, wiser, and more pious servant of the goddess than he. But still, all his life he was dogged by sideways looks and whispers. When I grew older and it was time for me to serve, I decided, anywhere but Comrades. That was where my father had served loyally, and his only reward had been injustice. Besides, the witch hunters, led by the Honorable Prelate Olrun, stalked the city with a heavy hand. Oh, the witch. Right. Who knows what they'd have done to a strange girl with a green face. Instead, I went to... She smirked. A smirk that looks like a painful grimace crosses her face. You can laugh if you want, but I was young and foolish. I chose Last Wall of all places. You can imagine how well I was accepted in the country that's been battering the orcs of bells. Oh, that is a choice. Belkzin is basically a stronghold of orc, if I recall correctly. That's going to be like the theme of this Let's Play, by the way, if I recall correctly. There were many there like me, but we were treated as second-class citizens. The locals, my green skin was worse than leper scabs. Even my brothers in faith kept their distance. I took my vows, and the goddess granted me the powers of a paladin. But even then, not a single order would accept me into their ranks. I spent another 6 months knocking on doors before I realized the simple truth. I serve Iomedae, not these people. I don't have to prostrate myself before them. So I left, as a paladin, but not a knight. You must stick out like a sore thumb no matter where you go, right? I know many people in Viasimers, but most of the ones I've known found their celestial heritage a burden. I find it hard to imagine what unasked-for adoration must be like, but I'm sure it doesn't make life any easier or any more pleasant. I was honestly not really expecting dialogue based on Arrent's heritage. That's cool. That's actually pretty interesting. I like it. So how did you come to join the Knightly Order? I left Last Wall and went traveling. Goddess guided me, and my path led me to where atrocities were happening. I often fought in exchange for gold, but never for unworthy aims, of course. I wandered the River Kingdoms for a few years, killing monsters and tracking down criminals. Sometimes I thought I was just wasting time, that my true place was back in Kinnaburas. But I pushed those thoughts away. I didn't even want to think about going back, but in the end, divine providence had brought me to my senses. It happened in Taimon. I was tracking a gang of bandits, which my employer suspected was a cover for Rasmirian spies. And I managed to find their lair, but inside I found something far more dangerous than spies. A holy temple of Zon-Kuthon. Ooh. She's not going to be happy if she ever finds that out. When I broke in there, the cultists were about to sacrifice someone, the person who was destined to become my wife, Olivia, but that's another story. After I cut down the cultists, I examined their papers and couldn't believe my eyes. A network of evil cults had spread through all of Avestan, including Mindev. Worse, the documents clearly showed that their allies, the Templars of the Ivory Labyrinth, had infested my native Kinnaburas, and were even among the ranks of the paladins. After that, delaying my homecoming would be tantamount to this search. Luckily, I was no longer alone. Nevia was eager to destroy the cultists like I was. And even I hurried to Kinnaburas. We couldn't trust anyone. The papers indicated that the cultists had infiltrated everything. Luckily, I had some experience in an investigation, and my beloved, the half-orc smiles warmly. She knew her way around working locks, hailing people, and trading information with the city's bottom feeders. Soon we defeated, last not the whole Hydra, but a few of its heads. You know who turned out to be the leader of the cultists? The commander of the Eagle Watch. Can you imagine? While Prelate Hulrun was chasing witches through the city, the enemy had infiltrated the very order responsible for internal security. Scandal reached the ears of the Queen, and at first she planned to disband the order in disgrace, but then she offered its command to me, and put its salvation in my hands. Of course, there was one small catch. I wasn't a knight, but I was made a commander just the same, skipping the usual progression through the ranks. Ooh. Lore, religion. I can't imagine the followers of Zon-Kuthon an alliance of demon worshippers. Shouldn't they hate each other? They should. Baphomet's minions are masters of deception and manipulate Zon-Kuthon's butchers as eagerly as Iomedae's knights. The cultists from that unholy temple didn't know the true face of their associates in Comrades. We ourselves learned the truth much later, after getting to the bottom of their nest. How did the people of Comrades feel about your background? They tolerated it surprisingly well. I shouldn't have been so wary. Crusaders don't tend to be prejudiced as a rule. After all, heroes from all over the world, even from other continents, come here to fight the demons. Apparently the people were only suspicious of full-blooded orcs. There were already many like me here, and we don't have any problems. Though the locals do have their superstitions. Mindiv is as merciless as Lastwall. They just have a different set of victims. I kept seeing those same sideways looks and scowls, hearing the familiar whispers. Where once they used to whisper behind my back and point at me, now they whisper in my ear and point at someone else. So strange to be on the other side of the humiliation. To wipe and spit from my face and suddenly be invited to change position and spit at someone else. You must have figured out by now that I'm talking about tieflings. Oh yeah, because whirlwind flings demonic blood. It's true there are many of them among the cultists and few among our crusaders, and our fighters do all they can to drive away those who would be our allies. People shun them, call them a Relu spawn or worse, if they chose to be born like that, as if they chose to be born like that. I believe it's quite a feat to rise against the call of one's blood and join the forces of good. Still, most only see them as an enemy. I once saw a knight bleeding to death because he wouldn't let a tiefling priest touch his wound. Alas, I haven't been able to change this in all my time in Comrades. Who for dialogue? Tell me about Anivia. Well, in Taimon, I was wandering aimlessly from one order to another. We returned to Comrades together to expose the Templars of the Ivory Labyrinth. The day the Queen knighted me was the second happiest day of my life. The first was the day of our wedding. But Anivia isn't just my beloved. She's my staunchest ally. We share every victory and defeat. The best of me is alive thanks to her. Thank you for saving her back then, the day Comrades fell. Before her return, the only thing giving me the strength to protect the defender's heart was the hope that I'd see her again. You're in your debt. For your answers. No, it's without saying words. I gotta go. Aromade, keep you safe. Any other dudes or dudettes that I need to... Ooh, I see a book. Loot. Pilor and the Spinner of Nightmares. Thor. Okay. I think the ones highlighted in green are basically the important ones. Or ones that still have stuff to say. Actually highlighted in green, rather. Whereas everyone else is just kind of there. More understandable. Do I want to recruit the tiefling that's down in the jail? Or try to recruit the tiefling down in the jail? Wolf, I believe his name was. Yeah, Wolf.
Well, Chief, what do you got for me?
Can't help you while you're chained up here. How can I free you?
That's easy. You know Irabeth? Feisty looking gal, always wears armor. You can't miss her. She's the meanest fighter in the whole city. When you see her, put in a good word for me, will ya? Tell her there's this guy, Woljif, locked up for no good reason in the Defender's Heart. Well, for the follies of his youth. And he really wants to get out on bail so he can keep up his good behavior and make a contribution to society. Got that? Will you do it?
I see this as a terrible idea. Alright, I'll talk to Erebeth about your situation.
I knew I could count on you. Knew it the moment I laid eyes on you.
Part of me really just wants to slay him the second that he does something stupid. Not saying, just saying. So I know I said about an hour long. It is still about an hour. But really quickly, I want to see what the hell this guy's about. Oh, I didn't even talk to this guy. I'm sorry, is there someone over here by the name of Pink Eye? That's unfortunate. Any success? How's the city? So there's this tiefling chained up in the Defender's heart. What can you tell me about him? Woljif is a petty thief from the gang of tieflings operating in Kennebrest. Shit, that's clever. God damn it, I might have to recruit him just based on that alone. That's what we call them in these parts. They tried to rob a vendor of magical items recently. Unfortunately, we apprehended only one of them and the rest managed to escape. We have nowhere else to keep him apart from the Defender's heart, but that's hardly a prison. Woljif knows it too. He's been begging us for days to let him go free or have someone vouch for him. He's already asked you to put in a good word for him, hasn't he? Squints at you thoughtfully, then shrugs. If you want to recruit Woljif and put him to good use, go ahead and take him off our guard's hands. And he'll afford to let a soldier spend their days watching over a middling thief. Hope the tiefling proves useful should you decide to take him. Damn it. That's a good pun. That's a damn good pun. I don't care who you are. That's a damn good pun. What am I carrying? Oh. Okay, that's right. Oh no, it has no effect on my movements, but... Alright, Woljif. Today is your very lucky day. Maybe.
Well, Chief, what do you got for me?
I've talked to Erebeth and I've decided to make you part of my troop. We'll see how it goes.
You must be a smooth talker. Come on, Delvin. Get these bracelets of yours off me. I'm going free.
You're sure to regret this. This tiefling will fleece you for everything you've got. Mark my words.
I'll regret it for many a reason already, but...
You're a bitter little man, Delvin. Petty and mean. You can't even be happy for me, can ya? I pity you. I'll leave you alone with your sad little soul. So long. And now, Chief, straight down to business. You see, I'm one of those guys that people around here call thieflings. We just call ourselves the family. After we knocked over that shop and I got stuck here in the Defender's heart, a little bird told me that big sister Charisme wanted to see me. That she had some questions to ask me. You following?
Are you just trying to get laid?
Now, she won't be asking me questions like, Woljif, how'd you manage to get out of this one? Or, Woljif, you're so thin, didn't they feed you? No, something serious has gone down, and I just know they want to try to pin something on me. I can feel it in my tail. So, I knew right away that I couldn't go alone. You turned up just in time, Chief. You don't need to do anything when we get there. Just stand behind me and look mean, and I'll handle the rest. Somehow. Let's go, I'll show you the way.
I can't help but like his demeanor, if only because it kind of reminds me of how some of my characters would act. I swear though, if he ends up stealing shit from me, his hit points will hit 0 really quick. Oh! Gave me some braces of armor. I mean, that's cool. Did he give me braces of armor? I mean, that's cool, but they don't stack with my armor. All right, let's see what you're going here. Eldritch Scoundrel. Students of arcane magic, legerdemain, and stealth, Eldritch Scoundrels are a rare breed of adventurer, most commonly found seeking lost and valuable arcane writings of the ruins of fallen empires. Interesting. Another Dex character, but yep, high-ass stealth and trickery. So he's got a bunch of shit. Because he is a tiefling, he can resist cold, sonic, fire, acid, electricity. I don't know why they're saying deactivated, but okay. Wait, that's a spell-like ability? What? So he gets sneak attack, and because he is 3rd level, he gets 2 die 6. Danger sense, makes sense. Finesse training with a dagger. So as long as he has a dagger, adds dexterity instead of strength to the damage roll. That's neat. Can scribe scrolls while camping. Simple weapon proficiency, though he seems to do really well with daggers. He's got some cantrips on in his repertoire. I'm guessing I'm going to have to prepare his spells now too. Trap finding and weapon finesse. I mean, so far it kind of looks like my party is going to consist of Wuljif, Winduag, and Sela. You have spell. Yes, you do. You are a memorized spellcaster, not spontaneous. What do you have prepared? Burning Hands, always a good one. Grease, always fun. Mage armor and color spray. Wait, do you have armor? Damn it. Inventory. You don't. Oh, okay. He didn't give me braces of armor. He just has braces of armor. Got it. It was base AC as a 17 with the bracers. Intelligence based. Curious character. Kind of curious to see how he goes. What has he got? Scroll of Magic Missile. Ear Piercing Scream. Or Scrolls of Magic Missile. Mage Armor. Boy howdy. This has got an interesting repertoire of characters so far. I do feel like I might eventually regret rooting Wuljif. Well, he seems like a fun enough character to include in the party. But I am going to go ahead and save. What is it? Stream number 2? Yeah, we'll just call this Let's Play 03. And call an episode here. When we return, there's a couple of more characters in here that I want to talk to. Most notably Pink Eye and Indara, rather. See what their whole thing is. And then I suppose we gotta start doing some of these quest stuffs. So, thank you everyone so very much for watching. I hope you guys are going to enjoy this adventure as much as I hope to enjoy it myself. As always, I hope to see you guys in the next video. Cheers.